I'm going to mute my phone.
Okay.
Quickly.
Welcome to Locking Castle Youth live for the first time. This is the first time we're on
Pioneering right here.
Pioneering. Yes, we're pioneering.
Pioneering
So a big welcome to Jacob, who is going to be my interview guest.
Oh,
So so we've never really done this before, so we're just going to see how this goes.
sounds good.
So if you got any questions, unfortunately I can't really see, or can I? Oh yes, I can see them.
I can see people. There you go. I can see
Yeah,
it.
you can see him. I can see him. Ah, there's Kieran. Yeah, Kieran's saying hi. So I'll say hi back. Yeah, so I've got two screens going at the moment, so I'm just so it doesn't overtax my computer.
Only two?
Only two.
Wow,
How many
you
have
are.
you got? How many?
I got three going right now. I had my laptop going earlier. I had my phone out. So.
Yeah, I've got my my iPad here on my phone, but
yeah.
so there we are. So so how are you kind of finding this rather strange world we're living in at the moment, then, Jacob?
I'm trying to work out. I think I've almost been 2 weeks now in self-isolation. Because so since our last band practice on that Monday, I haven't been out to anything since then. So I haven't done anything now for almost 2 weeks. I think it's 13 days now. Yeah, so I'm a little bit more into it than most people that have only had 6 days now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So since Tuesday. But we just made the decision basically as a family to start stopping doing stuff earlier. And there wasn't really anything on anyway, so it was like we started being careful beforehand.
So why were you being careful? Is have you?
I'm asthmatic.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's also asthmatic, and it's just health stuff. So it's just made sense for us to be careful. And from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like a very nice virus to get. So
no, it's and it's affecting all age groups. It's not.
It's not just affecting old people. I mean, so it's a percentage majority, isn't it? That are the serious cases are people that are elderly, but yeah.
Cool.
So it's we were just being careful from the get go. Well, Mum's also very paranoid, so about it. So, which is a really good thing. She's gone as far as like wiping down shopping when it's come in the house. So.
Okay. So have you been concerned yourself then?
I've definitely was more concerned a couple of days ago than I am now.
Right.
I think it's become very normal now.
Okay.
I think it's safer now than it has been probably for a lot, before lockdown started, right? I think it's definitely a lot safer now because all these precautions are being taken.
Yeah. Well, it's it's been a kind of strange old world we're living in, and trying to learn new technology to get all these kind of things going, and making sure that we are connecting in some way or form. So hoping that this will be a good way of connecting as well. So because the Zoom is great, but it is like herding cats. It's like it gets a little bit crazy on the Zoom. So
it was
this
interesting.
will be a different one. Yeah,
it was interesting.
It was interesting. So another question for you. So if you could have lunch with any person alive or dead, who would it be?
It would. This is an easy answer. I've got this. Like,
you got this sorted.
It's this sus. It's like the person I meet and the person, apart from like Jesus and stuff, right? Those are just easy cop outs.
Right.
I meet with Elon Musk every day.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, right? Yeah.
Why Elon Musk then?
He's just an incredible person, isn't he? He's done a lot of stuff.
Right. So explain why you think he's incredible.
He's done a lot of very, very smart stuff, isn't he?
Yes,
cars, rockets, PayPal.
Got a lot of money, all those kind of things. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just someone I look up to quite a lot, just in terms of, he's just sort of an ordinary dude.
Yeah.
But also is just incredibly smart, and it'd be really interesting to have a conversation with him because I feel like he could talk about anything forever.
All right. Oh, cool.
So yeah, it's a bit of a random one, isn't it? But I've always said Elon Musk because, for the last few years, I'm really interested in all of the stuff he does.
So does that inspire you for your own kind of engineering? Is that?
I think in a sense, yeah, it inspires me, especially with computing stuff, to try and be better and try and do better. But at the same time, Does it help? Maybe not all the time. That inspiration doesn't quite take hold, but he's a very interesting person. Another one's Bill Gates, isn't it? Those
Bill Gates. Okay.
those tech giants, but
tech giants.
All they do is just read all day. They just read books and just take in knowledge and stuff. It's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So do you read yourself?
No, I don't.
So these 12 days.
I'm really bad at reading.
Yeah.
Really bad at reading.
So you prefer to listen then?
I much prefer to listen or watch. I think or do. I'm very kinesthetic. I like to do things.
Okay. So you're not a great reader. So you're not following the footsteps of Bill Gates and stuff like that way.
No, definitely not. If I was following their footsteps, I'd be, doing quite well for you right now. But
so, do you think your perception of that will change as being isolated like this? How have you been amusing yourself then? Apart from playing, what was it? What I saw you were playing on when I was on Decoded.
Discord always has, Discord always shows up playing League of Legends for me.
That's it, League of Legends.
It is 24/7. It shows up. So I have a little bit. I've been playing some games. I've been playing quite a lot of games, honestly.
Okay.
It's definitely one of the good things to do right now.
Is playing games.
Playing games because it takes up a lot of time when you have nothing to do. So music, definitely. A lot of music stuff.
So you've been playing your drums?
I have been playing my drums. They're over there.
Yeah. So you got. So what you've been practicing? Is there anything you've been working on or anything like that?
See, the problem is, so I'm always really good at practicing if I've got something to practice for, right? If there's something that like an aim and a target to hit,
right.
I'll practice really hard for that target.
Right.
But if I've got nothing to practice for, I just sort of play random songs a lot of the time. Shuffle a playlist, Christian or non-Christian, it depends on the mood. I go between.
Because aren't you playing for a new band now as well? Is it an 80s band or something like that? Is it, or is it what kind of music?
It's very, very. It's a lot of different genres. To be fair, they're pretty open to a lot of different music. So
yeah.
Oh.
Have you been practicing that a bit?
I'd say more 80s. So I haven't, to be fair, recently. But again, it's because like we're not practicing for practices. We're not getting ready for anything. It's like.
So you need that motivation.
I need a purpose. I need something to actually motivate me towards doing something. If not, I'm just like, there's no point. It's I could be doing something else that has got a purpose to it to be doing. So
right, yeah,
that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, yeah, it does make sense. Well, it's easier to work to something. It's like I spent the whole day yesterday trying to put all the live stream stuff together for else, and so. But when you got that purpose, you are willing to give those kind of hours to it to make it. So how does that purpose work in your faith then?
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, I've started recently, at least. I take like leading worship a lot more seriously than I used to. I say that I haven't recently been in church hungover doing worship, but that's another matter. That's another matter.
Just leave it there.
We forget about that. But having said that, I still went in the night before and I prepared everything. I made sure everything was set up and stuff. So, but I've taken a lot more of a serious way of doing that, I guess. Practicing harder, practicing daily beforehand, making sure I know the set really well. Practicing the songs through at home, practicing at church, setting up and stuff. And then also reading my Bible beforehand, spending some time, usually the night before I spend like half an hour to an hour just like listening to worship, maybe like listen to like a Bethel set through or some other big church and stuff and just like worship through it and pray for it and read my Bible and stuff. So that helps focus me for what I'm doing in my like worship stuff. Definitely.
So now I've known you for now about 3 years, just over 3 years.
Yeah, probably.
So I've seen you quite change considerably through that time. So how is that your journey kind of changed over these past few years?
Good question. So what I started off if we go right back to the beginning, what I was doing was I was playing on Sundays with the lads.
Yeah.
That was good fun. Those were fun times.
Yeah.
That band was great fun. And then I guess it slowly progressed. I started doing Kids Club, didn't I?
Well, yeah, that's where you
I mean,
started.
you wrote me into doing youth one day.
Not me. Did I rope you in today?
You wrote me into doing youth one day. And then sort of youth became youth every week.
Yeah.
And then youth every week became being asked to go on the ECC as a
so what is
representative
the
of the
What's the ECC? Just
ECC?
For those ones who don't know
the
what
Ecumenical Church Council.
That's it.
It's the Church Council, basically.
Cool. Yeah. And you're the youngest member on there, aren't you?
I am by quite a few years.
Yes. Well, only about a couple of years because I'm still in my so I'm still young at heart.
Yeah. Sure, we'll give you that. Yeah. No one else is here, so they can't.
Okay, so how has that progressed you then? Kind of being part of leading and
I think
kind of
having responsibility makes you really consider decisions before you take them.
Yeah.
And having that in the back of your mind that you're a role model and you have these responsibilities, especially in somewhere like a church, is very, it definitely influences your decision making a lot. And then in terms of my faith, I think definitely things like new wine. Sadly, it's not happening this year.
Yes, I know.
David's tent last year was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So do you think worship is the way it shaped you more so?
It's definitely it gives me purpose. Like I said, for everything, like a lot of things, I need purpose, and it gives me the purpose. And without that purpose, I don't know where I'd be, really. I remember Tom said once, people tend to, they can stray a lot when they don't have something, a purpose or something to focus on.
That's why it's good to get involved in things, to serve and stuff like that, because that gives you that sense of I'm adding something to it.
So even when you're in like the deepest, darkest place that you've been in for a while, right, you can still, you've still got this purpose, and you're letting people down if you're not doing it. So even if you wake up and you really don't want to go to church, everything in your body's saying no, you're still letting loads of people down if you don't. So it gets you in the doors, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is the most difficult part, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
Sometimes.
That is. Well, we're just going to say welcome and hi to everyone who's joined us. You can write some questions on the comments if you want to ask any questions to Jacob. He is here to answer mostly anything.
I will be open to asking mostly everything. Yes, that's fair.
Yeah. So please, if you got any questions, burning questions to ask Jacob, he is here, and so we're But so what is one of the most hardest things? You're talking through your darkest times. What has been one of your darkest times recently?
I think self-image is definitely one that I've struggled a lot with, if I'm being very honest, for a very long time, and still probably am, but I'm getting better at it. So
what about that? It's kind of dig a little bit deeper into that. What is it about your self-image which you struggle with, if you don't mind?
A lot of insecurities, I guess.
Okay.
Height, my beautiful nose, I love it to bits, but also I don't at the same time. I've come to become very friendly with my nose. So just things like that. Yeah. Anya said, "Why are you so annoying to Jacob?"
Why am I so annoying to Jacob? I'm not. How am I being annoying to Jacob?
Who's being annoying? Anya's the one that's annoying. What?
Is it Anya being annoying, or is
Anya's
Joe
always being annoying? So I'll be willing to put mine on that.
Okay. Anya said, "Why are you, so annoying to Jacob?"
Oh, that's she meant to me. No, she's the annoying one. So
she's the annoying.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then. So self-image is a huge thing, especially in your generation, which
it's so difficult, isn't it? Just the pressures put on people to be a way, to be seen one way, and everything else is weird compared to it. So I'm just ignoring Joe at
Yeah,
this
just
stage.
ignore it. Yeah,
It's just normal, isn't it?
yeah. So, what is the kind of how has social media and all those kind of things affected your identity? Is it easier to portray something who
Oh,
you're
definitely.
not than the real thing?
Oh, it's definitely easy to be like everything's fine on social media. You
Okay.
can be like, oh, life's perfect. Look at my perfect life, right? And
Hmm.
then behind closed doors, maybe it's not so perfect. So, um,
I'm just not bothering with that. Andy said,
oh
Jacob,
no,
sit up
I'm
and
sitting
stop
like this.
slouching. Yeah.
I'm at home. I'm relaxing. 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. I'm just
Yeah.
chilling.
Well, that's what it is. This is the whole. Yeah. While we're doing this, is just chilling out and seeing what kind of things we could
We're on
talk
lockdown. There's
about.
nothing better to do.
Well, there isn't really, and so
There's nothing else to
it's
do.
a perfect opportunity just to get involved
Same.
and ask those kind of questions. So, yeah, so. What is the first thing you notice about a person when you meet them for the first time?
Ooh, ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't meet a lot of new people. Like, I don't like meeting new people too much.
No, why is that?
I don't know. I think it comes down again the same sort of thing, self-image, I guess. But I guess I care too much about people's opinions of me.
So you
That
make a
makes sense.
judgment that they're making a judgment of you straight
Yeah,
away, kind of
I
thing.
guess so.
Okay. Well, I suppose
I,
we all
I,
do that in
I
some
guess,
ways.
I guess, I guess confidence is something that you definitely pick up very, very quickly in someone, right? You can instantly almost grasp, okay, what type of person they are based off how they come across. That's definitely something. Love you too, Kathy. Love you
Kathy
too,
just said,
Kathy.
yeah. Uh, Kathy said, Jacob, you're gorgeous. They are.
We've got into
It's
deep
like
talk.
it's
How
like
how
coming for
far in
your
are we?
mum.
We're
That is,
18
isn't it?
minutes.
Really, it's like
Yeah,
coming for
pretty
your mum.
much.
That
Yeah.
yeah. So.
We're 18 minutes and we're already in deep talk, so yeah.
So relationships. So are you're in a relationship at this moment in time? Is it official or
uh,
not really? Is it what
it's not
this?
quite official, but
It's not
sure, yeah.
official.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
So you don't want to kind of divulge anything more on that one
I don't divulge any deeper yet, no. But
then.
yeah, coronavirus has slightly put a curveball in that, so.
Well, yeah, it does kind of do that, really. Yeah, it does. So, what are some of the challenges you think your generation faces? Okay, you've already mentioned identity. What other things do you think your generation faces at this time?
I so mental health is definitely a very big one, isn't it?
Hmm.
Mental health is a very big one. I'm very glad that it's getting a lot more noticed. Um, but at the same time, the systems they're not always the best, are they? The system doesn't work, and I think that's something that really needs to change.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's scary with all the pressures and with social media,
Yeah.
um, how much that can affect you. Really.
So, how has that affected you?
Oh, anxiety, definitely,
Anxiety, yeah.
definitely. A lot better now than I was 3 years ago. But if I look back 3 years ago when you're saying um, that I wasn't very involved at church, I'd probably put it down to that. Looking back now, I probably would have never said that at the time, but looking back now, I'm like, for certain.
Hmm.
I'm a lot better now, but I still struggle. I
Because
wouldn't say day to day, but
yeah, because you only really came. I only saw you when you were playing with the lads.
yeah.
Really, you didn't really come outside of that at all. And it's yeah, but since you got more involved in things like that, you've become more. Yeah, you're definitely around more
Yeah.
and tinkering
Sometimes
away.
maybe too much now. Yeah, maybe,
Well, you have
every day a week at church can be a bit too much on some of those weeks.
we are having a lot of time worshipping with Ethan and Oscar.
Oh, those
So yeah,
nights.
explain more about that.
So, how did that start? It was back in probably September. or probably September, October time.
Yeah.
And we were just at church one night, and we stayed, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were like, "That was a good session."
So you
I think
worshipped all that time.
So it's not always worship. So I think it was like Nate's practice or something.
Yeah.
We stayed on till I think it was about 12:1, and then we were like, we should do this more often. And then Ethan got involved. Ruben's been down before, just different people, and we just have a great time. To be fair, sometimes just improv stuff.
Okay.
We can just play off each other for ages, me and Oscar. So it's really cool just to play, like improv with people you do worship and stuff with. And then we do secular stuff every now and then, and then we do worship as well. We sort of have quite a balance.
Okay.
Some nights we might not do so much of the other, but it pretty much is balanced out in the end. So
it's depending on how you're feeling, really.
Yeah.
So have you written any songs from this?
Oscar has written what's it called? Oh, what's it called? There You Were. It is a good song. I like it a lot.
Okay. So has he recorded that and released it yet?
We have a demo recording of it that Oscar put together.
Okay.
But I don't know. It might eventually come out in church sometime. We have said about doing it, and we both want to do it, but it's convincing everyone else, I guess.
As to kind of play it along and see how and take it on, kind of thing. Yeah. Well, I heard it. Well, I heard more the instrumental kind of version of it rather than the actual, the clear, words and stuff like that. So it'd be good to really hear what you've come up with, and hear it because Oscar and Ruben done a great job with that. They did
an exceptional job of it this morning. I thought it was really, really good. Orchestration of it. So.
So it's
and some very, very nice drum samples in there as well. I was like, Oscar, I need some of those now. Just send me those samples straight off, because those are some great samples in there. So
could you produce something like that, or because I know I've set you a challenge with the youth,
not of that standard.
Not of that standard. You don't think so?
No, not of Oscar's standard. He's been doing it way, way longer. I've dabbled in Ableton a bit.
Well, it's a little bit of a challenge
I'm starting to learn little things in it. So, but yeah, I think if the youth actually want to get involved with it eventually, sometime, just little slight dig there.
Well,
if they want to do their part and records and stuff, I'm definitely up for trying to put something together.
They are then youth. Those ones who are in the band, you know who you are.
Bit of a nudge there, a little bit of a hint,
kind of. I know the bar has been set with by Oscar and Ruben.
It's been set very high.
And so you got your job cut out, but I reckon you can do it, because I've heard you produce some amazing stuff. Mm-hmm. So you should be doing it. So, okay, so what 3 habits have improved your life?
3 habits. I'm awful at making good habits, let's put it that way. Like keeping to a routine. Joe wants to do it, apparently.
Yeah, he wants to do it, but it's also, I know Joe can play lots of instruments as well. Sorry, he messed why he could do quite a lot of it, but it's also making sure everyone else comes in.
Yeah, to be fair, Joe, you're not wrong. We actually could put it all together between the two of us.
But that's not the idea.
The point is we want to get everyone involved.
Draw in everyone, because that would be a collaboration across.
It's like 6 different people. Yeah, we're working on.
Yeah,
it'd be really cool if we can get it working.
Okay, so habits. Go for it. So what
3 habits? What habits do I even have? I can say 3 habits that would improve my life.
Okay, right. Okay.
Sleeping and waking up at good times. That would definitely help.
Okay, so that would be yeah.
Wait, I completely forgot what I was about to say. Reading my Bible, that would definitely help.
Yeah, that's always good.
And actually committing to doing uni work before it's done. So I've got a deadline on Thursday, and it hasn't been started yet. Spending more time at cafes, that's a good habit. That's a habit I've already got.
That's always a good habit.
Okay, so what's improved my life? I guess. So whenever I have a shower, I put on worship music pretty much all the time. That's definitely a habit I've got into, which is really good. It's the same sort of lines, but I always go to sleep listening to worship music now as well.
Okay.
So I put my phone to like just shuffle the playlist and just play it. It just plays all night. So last
So
year
it's
my
going into your subconscious.
so
you
yeah,
can
so
play it even
basically,
better. Yeah?
basically, I'm not holy. I just sit there and worship for 8 hours a day whilst I'm asleep. So
That's good. Oh, that's novel. Oh,
so
oh,
that's a
same Jacob saying.
it
Oh,
is
so
a
Jordan
really it's two
agrees.
really good ways to just get a little bit of worship into your day. I think.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it definitely helps me a lot.
good. Okay, excellent.
Those are two of the same, I guess,
Yeah.
habits that really help.
All right, great.
I can't really think of any others, honestly.
So,
I'm
what's
really
your?
bad at good habits.
You're really bad at good habits.
Yeah, I like making good habits that work.
Well, yeah, I think we all, because the good habits take longer to, I think, kind of really hit home into
Yeah,
our everyday kind of thing, where bad habits we can slip into really quite easily.
really.
Or, you know, it's maybe not bad, but it doesn't add as much value to your life and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like it, going to bed at 3 in the morning isn't bad, but it's also not good.
Well, it's
So
not good.
it's
Well,
not. It doesn't add value to your life, but it doesn't really take a lot away either. But at the same time,
true, and sometimes you just don't want to go to bed because you don't want to miss out on what's going on if there is
yes.
anything
So
going on,
sometimes
kind
you
of thing.
actually are genuinely busy doing stuff,
Yeah,
and mornings they're nice in terms of being outside, but apart from that, nothing really happens in mornings apart from church and school and uni. But like in the evenings, loads of stuff's going on, so it's
yeah,
like
yeah. I'm much more of a night owl myself,
I'm
so
definitely I do like my evenings.
yeah, so
So
yeah.
that's why I put it down to. But I'm getting up about 10 o'clock every day at the moment actually.
Oh,
So I'm not
that's good.
sleeping too much. That's the problem I've got into before. Is when I slept for like 12 hours before. It's really not good for you. Really not good.
You can't. You wake up in this kind of strange,
You wake up and you
weird
don't feel good the
days kind
entire
of thing.
day.
No, no.
You just got a headache the entire day, and then that's not good.
So what is your favorite verse
My
or
favorite verse.
passage?
What did I send you? It was Luke
It
15
was
verse 4, isn't it?
yeah, that's
It's the
it.
reckless love verse. It's the
Okay,
reckless love verse, basically.
okay.
Um,
Do you know it
yeah. I don't
off
know
by
off by
heart
heart.
or
It came into my head last night. I was thinking, I was like,
so
I
Luke?
haven't thought of, I haven't got a verse yet, and I
Luke.
guess like there's a lot of verses.
Well,
Um,
there's loads of
but
verses.
that one's always there's a lot of verses in the Bible. But that one's always recently at least
So
just
15
been
verse
like,
4, yeah. Oh, so suppose one of you had 100
that.
sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? And when he finds it, he is joyful and puts it on his shoulders and goes home. Yes.
So it's one of those ones that just
Yes.
sort of sends it home, doesn't it?
Yes, it
It's
does.
one of those sort of like nice reminder, sort of over everything else. God will still leave whatever he's doing to find you,
Yes.
and it's a really really good song, a really really lovely song as well. So that sort
It
of
is.
comes into
Yes.
it, but at the same time, it's just such a nice message. And in times of like feeling really abandoned or whatever, you can come back to that and be like, well, I'm clearly not abandoned. So
No, it's a good job we
oh,
aren't.
that's another one. Be still. What's it? Be still and know that I am God.
Yeah, Psalm 46. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's another. To be fair, a lot of like my favorite verses are based off songs. That's a Amanda Cook song, I think.
Yeah, it is actually.
Really,
Yeah.
yeah, really, really good song.
Hmm.
Really nice, like chill worship song. So
Great. Well, I think we're going to draw our time because we've done 35 minutes and we've just been
that's
kind
not
of
bad.
talking
That's not
here.
bad.
It's not bad. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening, and so we're going to sign off. And one last thing: what's the first kind of encouraging word you need to say to someone? Just on last one.
Any word.
Any word.
Fantastic. You're
Fantastic.
fantastic.
There we are. See,
You're fantastic, Andy.
guys.
Well done for all this.
Right.
You
So
put a very good effort into trying to make it accessible for everyone. So that's another
yes.
thing. I'm trying to compliment people more because I really used to not be good at it. So I'm trying to like actually
So another
tell
habit you're
people
going to
that
do.
that's something I'm trying to get into is tell people that they're actually good. Apart them just thinking it and being like, well, I'm not going to tell them, you know. So I'm trying to say what I think a bit more.
That's good.
If
That's
that makes
good.
sense. So
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Jacob. I
Yeah,
really
and you,
appreciate
Andy.
that. And
Good fun.
so next week, I'm hoping to have my friend Mark to talk to us about prophecy and how to
Oh,
hear from
nice.
God.
Nice.
So that's going to be a great time. So catch you guys later, and thank you for joining us. So see you soon. All right.
Cheers,
Thanks,
guys. In a
Jacob.
bit.
All
That's all
right.
right.
Bless you, mate.